If you have a room full of dreamers in your school or in a team or in a department, nothing is ever going to get done because everyone is just dreaming and no one is optimizing, no one is challenging, no one is nurturing, no one is doing the actual work. These strengths only are going to matter when people respect each other. If you're an educator that's passionate, but you're tired and you're burnt out and you're wondering what to do next, this is the show for you. We're going to learn together, we're going to recharge together, and we're going to grow together so you can be the best you and serve your students and your community to the best of your ability. What's going on, pod? Welcome back to the Teachers Ed Podcast. I am your host, Edward DeShazer. Teachers Ed Podcast is a place where the best and brightest in education come to be inspired, to connect, to learn, and to grow. Let's jump right in. And if you have been following the series, whether you're following along on YouTube, whether you're following along on the podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever you're following along, TikTok, wherever it is, we have been going through the Building Bridges Blueprint. And before I get too far, what I am asking you to do is pause this podcast, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify or wherever you are listening. That helps us tremendously to get in front of more dynamic educators like yourself. Now, back to the blueprint. The blueprint is built off of 4 pillars that really help create a strong culture in schools. And those pillars are leadership and communication, collaboration and teamwork, staff wellness and morale, and recognition and growth. And the last few weeks, we were digging into leadership and communication. We talked about clarity, consistency, emotional intelligence, and how people in your team or in your school, on your team, receive information differently. And today we're going to move into the second pillar, which is collaboration and teamwork. So this is going to be part 1 of collaboration and teamwork, and then there'll be a part 2 next week. So let's break down first and foremost why collaboration matters. Why do teams struggle? We'll talk a little bit why teams struggle and how to shift your school from isolation to unity. So before I jump in, though, I got to give a shout out to Rise Mushroom Coffee. It is packed with 6 functional mushrooms that support focus, energy, gut health, and it helps you manage stress. I've already had my cup this morning. Tastes great. It's easy to make, and it helps keep me locked in without all the jitters and the crashing that regular coffee does. But if you head over to ryzesuperfoods.com and use code Edward DeShazer, you will get 15% off your order, in your entire order, not just your first order, but every order. So keep going back and ordering. It is phenomenal. I start my day every day with it. But all right, let's jump into today's episode. Why collaboration? I want to jump and start off with why collaboration is difficult and hard in schools. And if we're being honest, which we try to be on here, collaboration sounds amazing. Teamwork, unity, the kumbaya, the shared ideas, everyone supporting each other sounds absolutely phenomenal. And someone's listening like, that is just not real. In reality, collaboration is one of the hardest things to build in a school. And that is because in education, we end up in silos. You have classrooms, Justice Mike, you have classrooms, you have students, you have your grade levels, you have your departments, people have responsibilities, people have lesson plans. So really, unless something is burning down, most people just kind of stay in their lane. And this is not because teachers and your staff are selfish, but oftentimes it is because people are overwhelmed. When you are grading papers, answering emails, helping students, preparing lesson plans, handling behaviors, calling parents, all the things that educators have to do, collaboration in a school begins to feel like a luxury and something that you do when you magically have time. So the mindset becomes, I'm just trying to survive today. And the truth is that no one will thrive in a school if they are alone. The best schools that I've spent time in are the ones where people actually work together, support each other, challenge each other, problem solve together, and most importantly, lift each other up. Collaboration isn't just a nice idea, but it is a difference maker, for your culture. So, what collaboration is not? What collaboration is not? Collaboration is not just sitting in on the same meeting. Collaboration is not just sharing a Google Drive. Collaboration is most definitely not complaining about the same issue, although that is how some folks love to collaborate. Or it is not about using the same curriculum. Those things, they may help some people, but they don't actually create collaboration. Real collaboration is much deeper than that. Collaboration is it's trust, it's respect, it is shared ownership, it is shared responsibility, and it is comfort with vulnerability. The ability to say, I'm struggling, can you help me out? Without feeling judged by the people that are around you. It is the ability to be able to give feedback without things becoming personal. It is being able to solve problems together instead of pointing fingers. The phrase I always come back to is connection before correction. And when people feel connected to each other, collaboration becomes much more natural. When people feel isolated, collaboration becomes forced. Connection will create openness. Openness is ultimately going to create communication, and communication will then create teamwork, and teamwork creates a dynamic culture. So why is collaboration so important, and why does it break down at times? I'll give you 3 reasons why collaboration breaks down in schools. Reason number 1 is we confuse proximity with partnership. Just because you work in the same building does not mean you are a team. Just because you teach the same subjects does not mean that you are collaborating. Proximity creates convenience. Partnership creates connection. Reason number 2, there is no psychological safety in the school. And this might be one of the most important parts. If people don't feel safe, if people don't feel respected, if they don't feel like they can disagree without being judged, they will not collaborate. Fear will kill creativity. Fear kills risk-taking, and fear is going to kill teamwork. And then reason number 3, we celebrate individuals more than teams. And this one may sting. Schools often reward the rock star teacher, the one with the best the one with the best test scores, the one with the cleanest rooms, the bulletin boards, the doors that's dressed up with the, whatever holiday that you're leading into, the door contest. But if recognition is always about one person, the team is going to break down. Competition replaces collaboration, silence replaces sharing, and envy is going to replace unity. And I want to say this again because I do not want someone to miss it. If recognition is always about one person, the team is going to break down. Competition replaces collaboration, silence replaces sharing, and envy replaces unity. Culture is going to thrive when teams win, not just people. And if your team isn't collaborating, it's not that they don't care, it's because they don't feel connected. Working near someone isn't the same as working with someone. Working near someone isn't the same as working with someone. If people don't feel safe, they won't share ideas. If they don't feel valued, they're not going to take risks. And if the recognition only goes to individuals, the team is going to eventually fall apart. So we need to build connection first, and then teamwork will then begin to become natural. So from there, we're going to switch gears and talk about the power of a diverse team. You do not want a team full of people that think alike, contrary to what society and Facebook and all these things make us feel like. Most people gravitate to people that look like them, think like them, speak like them, act like them. You do not want a team full of people who think exactly alike. You need a strategist. You need an optimizer. You need a dreamer. You need someone that's a challenger. You need a nurturer. You need a motivator. You need an analyzer. Great teams thrive on different strengths. If you have a room full of dreamers in your school or in a team or in a department, nothing is ever going to get done because everyone is just dreaming and no one is optimizing, no one is challenging, no one is nurturing, no one is doing the actual work. These strengths only are going to matter when people respect each other. And this is where I always want to share one of my favorite stories. I share this when I do presentations and we're talking about teamwork and collaboration because it truly highlights and shows the power of collaboration. It's the story of the Belgian horses. A single Belgian horse by itself can pull 8,000 pounds. A single Belgian horse by itself can pull 8,000 pounds. But when you put two Belgian horses together, even if they've never met, even if they've never trained, even if they've never worked together before, you just put them side by side, they will then pull about 22,000 pounds. So a single horse does 8,000 with another horse that it's never met. It will pull together will pull about 22,000 pounds. Not the 16 like you expect. If you take 8,000, 8,000, 16,000 from people that struggle with math in the back of the room. But it's almost triple the effort. But this is where Belgium horses get crazy. If you take two horses and you train them together as well, they will now pull almost 30,000 pounds together. So two horses working in unity, carrying a load no single horse could ever touch alone. This is the power of collaboration. When you get people working together in unity, when you get people training together, when you get people who understand how to ebb and flow with the people that they work together on a day-to-day basis, this is when collaboration starts to skyrocket. Because what starts to happen is people start to trust each other. People really start to understand each other. People start to communicate much clearer. People start to work in rhythms, and then they begin to respect each other's strengths. So what I need educators to understand, no matter what your title is in a school, no matter what your position is in a school, you might be capable of carrying and pulling your own 8,000 pounds every single day. But when you surround yourself with the right people, you don't just double your impact, you multiply it. Collaboration isn't just about making work easier. It is about making results bigger. So, how can we build a collaborative culture? Here are 5 practical steps. Number 1, protect time for collaboration. We can't say collaboration matters if we don't schedule it. What gets scheduled gets done. So school leaders, it is your job to make sure that there is built-in time in the day where teachers can collaborate together. It can't be, well, I need you to stay after, I need you to come in early, I need it to be on a Saturday. Like, we need to begin to build these things into the day for our staff so they don't have to do it in their free time. Number 2, model vulnerability. As a leader, as a teacher, you must go first. Say I don't know if you don't know. Say I need help if you need help. Say let's figure this out together if you are ready to figure this out together. Your vulnerability is going to make teamwork safe. Number 3, Clarify roles and goals. Teams fall apart when people don't know who's doing what and what are we working towards. Clear roles equals less conflict. Clear goals equals more unity. Try to over explain so people know and it is very clear what they are supposed to do. If you over explain and you are very clear on what the expectations are, what people need to be doing, when people fall short, it is easier to hold them accountable because there are no communication gaps. Number 4, we need to celebrate team wins loudly. If you want people to collaborate, show them that you see when they are collaborating. Recognition is going to fuel repeated behavior. Say this again. Recognition is going to fuel repeated behavior. What gets watered grows. Celebrate groups, not just the individuals. And number 5, we need to address conflict early. Conflict ignored becomes culture destroyed. Healthy teams don't avoid conflict. And let me be very clear. Healthy teams have conflict. Healthy relationships have conflict. People are under this impression that if you have a healthy relationship with someone, with your team, with your organization, with whoever, that conflict is not going to happen. That is just not true. Healthy teams do not avoid conflict. They manage it respectfully. Small problems handled early prevent big problems later. So critical. I want to say this again. Small problems handled early prevent big problems later. So if you want a collaborative team, I need us to protect collaboration time. I need us to model vulnerability. I need us to clarify roles and goals. I need us to celebrate team wins, and I need you to address conflict early. Collaboration can't just be something that we demand. It is something that you build, and when you build it right, your culture shifts from mine to ours. So as I'm getting ready to wrap this up, next week, we are going to dive a little bit deeper into collaboration, teamwork, a little more how-tos. We're going to go into the 5 levels of team trust. We're going to go into how to repair a team that is broken, because teams are going to break. It happens. You get new staff members, old staff members leave. People are going through things and they change and they challenge, and people are just fluid individuals. So people change, things change, dynamics change. Teams are going to break no matter how dope and no matter how much of a vibe your culture is. People and things are going to change and going to break. So we're going to go into how to repair that. Then we will talk about how to manage difficult personalities. Newsflash, school leaders. I want you to listen close. Newsflash, teachers. I need you to listen close here. You are going to have difficult personalities that you work with on a day-to-day basis. Maybe it's a coworker, maybe it's a student, maybe it's a parent. You are going to have difficult personalities, and I want to help you to manage those difficult personalities, because teamwork is not going to stop with planning. Teamwork is sustained through trust. It's sustained through accountability, and it is sustained through connection. So part 2, we're going to dive a little bit deeper. Again, this is a 10-part series. We are on part 5. So we are getting close to halfway there. So you won't want to miss part 5. And as you head into the week, I want you to ask yourself, are we working together or are we just working near each other? Collaboration does not just build the culture. It strengthens people, it lifts the load, and it multiplies impact. And just like those Belgian horses, your school can pull far more when people are working together. So I want us to keep building bridges with our team. I want us to keep leaning into connection. I want us to keep being clear with our communication, because no one builds a thriving school alone. That's all I got. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone else. Please tell a friend about it. Please hit the thumbs up if you're watching this on YouTube. On TikTok, if you're ever watching, please share it with someone else. Please give me a follow if you're able to. Please do not forget to grab the free culture survey If you're looking for it, you can drop me a note in any social media or email, and I will send it over to you. But until next time, keep believing in your students, keep believing in your coworkers, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. Appreciate you all. I love you all. Keep doing the work. We thank you for the work that you're doing, and I will see you all next week.